the end or not. I guess they will let, did you start the recording?
Yes.
Okay. Skip that or that. Okay. They will, I'm sure will let us know at the end if there's going to be a meditation or not. Last time there wasn't. I'm hoping everybody has got the emails, obviously, and got the other recordings that have been made. So those are all posted also on my YouTube channel. So you can always go back to the first one that was there and go forward or go to anyone that's on there. So those are all there on the YouTube channel to listen to. Any questions from anybody before we start? Comments or anything? Okay. All right, so I obviously suggest get yourself comfortable and we'll just go ahead and start. So we are so happy to be with you here again. There seems to be what you might feel is a heaviness that seems to be in the planet. It seems to be all over the world, a very, very heavy type energy that seems to be penetrating most countries and people as the new year came about. And what we would suggest here is that that heaviness has a lot to do with what's being released. As you know, in your own spiritual journeys, to be able to release something isn't just about releasing it, but must be experienced as it's being released. Well, the planet has to do the same thing. It has to feel all of its densities as it releases and changes, just as you do. As that release is taking place, as you probably know, it's been years and years of very strong masculine controlled energy that has started all the way back in Atlantis. All of this density is now being released. The Earth is already standing at the precipice of walking into the fifth dimension. There isn't even a fourth, so there isn't a transitory period between the third and the fifth. The Earth has worked very strongly on all of this, and so their letting go process, if you will, that letting go is almost completed. The density that's being let go of right now is very, very strong. It's all of the buildup of everything that's been going on for the last 800,000 years. It needs to be addressed in a way that can be felt. For the Earth, as you know, has its own spirit, it has its own feeling, and thus has its own choices as well. That might be a little bit different to think about, that the Earth actually can choose, but it is a being unto itself. And because it has these choices, it has chosen to move on. This is not out of judgment or harm for anyone on the planet, for instance, or any beings that have been here over that 800,000 years, or even anybody that new comes down, any souls of beings that choose to be in this transitory period. But the letting go process is very heavy, for the density is very, very deep. You all know what that feels like, for you have emotions that you have given away to throughout your journeys. The Earth has had to stand by as all of your emotions have been placed into itself. The earth holds your emotions. For you and the earth are unified. You are one. So to think that you're ever alone in the walk that you walk is really a misnomer. The earth is your companion. It is your mother. It is your support. She is there always for you and will take all of your emotions, all of your, let's call it negativity, all of your ego, all of the situations, anything that you have had to deal with in any past lifetime while you were here, the earth willingly accepts. She can change it much faster than you can. So to say that you have a companion in your walk doesn't even come close to what is truly there for you. She is there to support you in every way. When you're crying on the floor for something that just happened, she's there with you. Your tears fall into the earth. When you are joyous, the earth celebrates your joy with you. When you are depressed, the earth feels your depression, feels what you're walking through. Does not try and change it, for you must change that yourself. It is your choice to continue to feel depressed, to feel joyous, to feel sad, to be crying. That is your choice. It is your feeling. However, she is there to comfort you, to bring compassion to you, to be there with you and stand with you in all that you experience. She is your partner. So what is happening now is all of those emotions over all of those years have sunk into the planet, have sunk into the mother. She has taken it all, for she loves you unconditionally. And as she's done so, she has had to change who she is as well. And that change now is moving on into a higher frequency, which means she must leave everything behind that she knows as she is, just as you must leave everything behind. All the descriptions and all the definitions of you think of who you are must be left behind. And how is that done? It is done through experience. It is done through feeling. It is done through emotion. Just as you have to choose for yourself whether you will allow an emotion to continue to circulate within your heart and within yourself. Does it still serve you? Does it not serve you? She has to look at all of this the same way. In control and manipulation does not serve her any longer. Many of you that are listening to this, and many on the planet who are old souls, are empathetic souls. You know this, you've heard this before. And because the empathy has taken over you in some respects, you give yourself away much more freely than anybody else, because you can see clearly how to serve, how to be with somebody in their emotions, in their heart, in their situations. Not to necessarily fix them for them, but to stand with them, which means you must mingle with them in a way that brings energy into your system and feel it fully, so you know how to be with them. This is what's called empathy. The greatest empathetic soul, if you will, or being, is the earth, for it has taken all of everyone's situations and emotions. And now things have shifted. The earth is moving towards a new truth, a new understanding, And as that energetic field begins to grow, as she lets go of everything that she has brought into this period, you must do the same. For in it gives you the opportunity to serve in a deeper way, to serve in a way that is not an attachment, to serve in a way that is not judgment, that does not have an agenda. You all know what this feels like because many of you, if not all of you, have felt attached, have felt manipulated, have felt judged. And so you know what that feeling feels like. You know how it's driven you. Can you imagine, even for a second, of being a being like the earth and being judged by 7 billion people with all their emotions and holding on to all of that so that you can help them and serve them in a way that might provide clarity? For free will allows them to make choices as well. This is your mother. This is your companion. This is your partner. Truly. And now it's time for that relationship to build. And so there's a large denseness that is taking place. And each one of us, even in the universe itself, feels that denseness and feels that shift taking place. And is why we're here to assist in every way we can to not only help the mother and the earth to form its new energetic field, but to help each one of you as you call out so you can help and assist in that same projection and progression as she continues to grow. But as the earth must let go of the denseness that she has, you must let go of yours as well. Isn't it time to finally leave behind what happened yesterday and the day before that and the month before that and the year before that and the lifetime before that? It does not serve any of you anymore to hold on to such things, for it brings you into the past. And the past is filled with emotion. Emotion that wants to keep you trapped and keep you down. The earth knows it does not serve itself to hold on any longer, that it must move on. And it is hoping that each one of you will move on as well, for it needs your assistance. It can go faster, the shift can happen sooner, as each soul decides to move with it. Now, you're not leaving anybody behind, for that would be judgment. The most important thing that you can do at this point is to love yourself, to find out what it is to have true joy from the heart, to know in the moment the truth of love, the vibration and frequency and wave form that is in all the universes, everywhere. It is a part, it holds everything together. You might say it is like the space in between everything, for in space in between everything, as you know, is what holds everything together. In that space in between is love, an energetic value, if you will, a wave that complements everything as it continues to expand. Will you continue to expand? will you choose to leave things behind that are of lower density and frequency than the love that is waiting for you to experience? And let us say that that experience is never the same. For in each moment, as each moment comes, things shift and change, providing new experiences, new revelations, new clarity, new connections, new abilities to create, to heal. Each one of you has the capacity to heal yourself. You've heard this before, and we've talked about it in some of the channelings already. But what are you waiting for? Is it just something that you just hear about and say, oh, that's really cool. That's really neat. I read it in a book. Past masters have done it before. What are you waiting for? Somebody to tell you it's okay to do? Or is there fear? For once in the heart, as you know, all answers are there within. Any question you could ask any master of all time, the answer and the solution, if you will, is already present within you. The second part of this channel now is going to be discussing creativity. For as the mother begins to change so radically at this point, letting go of all the density that you begin to feel, the heaviness that is everywhere, there will be a lightness that comes soon, and you will feel it first. Those who are wrapped into their own densities and judgments and manipulations cannot feel what you can feel. You will feel the shift yourself. You will know it's happening. And as you do, it begins to give you an opportunity to begin to create. You create from the womb. You create from your heart, which is connected to the womb, to the sacral. Both become melded together as you finally walk your walk as a spiritual master of creation. And as we have discussed before, there is a truth to this. There is a feeling of truth, the feeling of what it is that you wish to bring together. For in the feeling of the heart, there is no judgment. There is no manipulation of it. You might say, as soon as you feel something that brings a smile to your face, or a joy, that brings a joy and a smile to the face of the universe, instantaneously. You might say that everything knows what you're looking for, and everything knows it will complement everything. But if there's a want or a need to have something, that creates a judgment, an agenda. As you begin to create, there is a support mechanism already involved, coming from the galactic core and from us, to be there for you, to help you on your journey, but you must choose it. We don't choose it for you. We cannot act for you. We can support you in it, though. So as you walk in nature, and feelings come to you of what it is that you would like to see in the world, how would you like to see people interact? Even what kind of job do you want to have that complements and serves all, not just yourself? What is it that you feel For as you walk your walk in meditation, which you are beginning to do already, you might not realize it in some ways, but things are already coming to you when you know this, as you walk around and you see the synchronicities more clearly than ever before. There is no doubt things are happening. The synchronicities are way too strong. Those are the little tidbits that come to you to support you in your journey, to help you know that you're on the right track, you might say. The divine creatrix, as you know, that is the name that some of you have given to the mother creator. You must know her completely. You must be one with her. You must feel her. There has been too much control, as you know. Too much masculine energy. And the shift is on now to change it into more balanced energy. That doesn't mean that the feminine is coming in to destroy anything. The feminine is coming back to bring balance. Balance back to yourself first, so that your masculine and your feminine self can become one and unified. And feeling that balance, you now can be in the heart space and begin to create, because all things are available to you in that moment. Creating can only take place. It can only take place in the present moment. It can only take place in the present moment. No thinking about the past or the future, but being present, breathing, feeling your breath. The breath is loaded with information. The breath is loaded with energy and frequency and love. To become one with the breath opens the door to all creativity. For in the quantum aspect of things, the quantum aspect says everything is there at one time. The past, the present, and the future are all together. But the only way to reach that quantum aspect is to be present in the moment. Being present in the moment creates a flow of complete, you might say, abundance, even though there is no end to abundance. But it gives the door to it, which can even change the feeling you're having in the moment to something greater, to more expansive. And in these moments, we will suggest to you that they are very enjoyable. It brings a sense of what you have called childlike energy to it. For in that moment, there is no attachment to an outcome. This is an enjoyment, an exploration of what it can continue to feel like, to deepen as you are in the moment of your divine creative abilities. Now, make no mistake, you are still here in a third dimensional reality, and distractions abound everywhere. Distractions abound just in your own personal relationships, taking away from the ability for you to walk your walk without judgment. Because you're an old soul, and because you're an empathetic old soul, it's really easy to get caught up in the distractions of people needing you, wanting you, telling you what to do, judging you, manipulating you. And now is the time to finally change that. For it's time for all of you to come together, which you can do through consciousness. It doesn't have to be a meeting or a Zoom or through your Google or even on a phone. For true feelings from the heart are sent out constantly. Some of you know this. It's almost as if sometimes each one of you are taking the words out of each other's mouths. This is showing you that the connections of consciousness are true. For the feelings and thoughts and actions that are taking place are also happening even across oceans to other places, are being felt instantaneously. So as you come together in this wave form, this consciousness form. So as you create some kind of feeling, for instance, for some kind of flower that you're looking at, somebody in the depth of Russia can feel the same feeling you're having as they open up their heart. They don't necessarily know where it comes from, and it doesn't matter. But you are sharing your feelings with other old souls to assist in that consciousness to raise that vibration higher and higher and higher. And thus assisting the earth, the mother, to continue to grow, to assist the solar system, to assist the galaxy, to assist the universes, and so on. As you choose to be in your heart space more and more, you're coming back home. You're coming back home to the realization and experience of what it was like when you first became a soul. It is that deep. For you are connected to Source, to God, to Universal Soul. You are all one in that way, but also unique in experiencing what you experience as that soul, bringing that back to everyone and everything. So this is a time for creation, as well as letting go of what is left to let go of. Many of you have been working on this for a long time. And now it's time to move on. This month provides that opportunity for you. It provides you to go deeper, to feel the depth of whatever it is that you came into this life with and what is developed up to this point that is so hard to let go of. And to walk into the truth of who you are. As you walk in your light, as you walk in this space, as you continue to move forward, there is now going to start more of an attraction, more synchronicities, more individuals coming together in connection. The more you walk your walk in truth, the more these things will happen. Make no mistake, too, that as you walk more in your truth, if there is anything that you have not let go of, it will show up. It might show up a lot stronger than you've ever seen before, just to help you recognize that this must end. We even support you in that. So this is a clear message, you might say, of a celebration. It is not a message of negativity or how hard it's going to be for you. It is a message that is on the precipice of where you're walking is a joy that is beyond anything that you can comprehend at this point. It is still waiting for you inside of you. Each one of you has certain roadblocks to go over, but as those roadblocks are finished, there is a joy that will come. You will be attracted to someone and someone will be attracted to you. And you will both grow in that new energy field. Whether it be a newfound friend, a new acquaintance, a new love interest, even a new relationship within your family that had gone sour for such a long time and now has changed because you have changed. You see it differently than you used to. All these opportunities will start presenting themselves, and you will see clearly the ones that are of the old energy and do not serve anyone any longer. There is no judgment on this, for it is something that has helped all of you get to where you are and even helped us to get to where we are. But it's time to move on. There is too much excitement and joy waiting for you to experience. And the time is ripe for that now. We say as we end here that you are not to serve others at this point, that you must serve yourself first. You must find the love inside yourself. Truly, you must know the compassion of what you hold for yourself. You must know who you are in every facet and aspect of energy that you hold. As that takes place, serving others becomes automatic. For you will see completely on how to be with others. But you must feel it for yourself first. As that happens, those will come to you that will love you in ways you could never comprehend. For you have given yourself up to yourself finally, and you have opened the door to say, I wish to be joy. I wish to be happy. I wish to smile most of the time. I wish to laugh as a child once again. I want to play in the mud. I want to build sandcastles. I want to see balloons fly in the air. I want to see colors like I've never seen them before. And as you do, don't be surprised that others will come to you to enhance what it is that you're feeling, to help you show yourself a way of going even beyond that. And there's where creativity lies, in that moment when that happens. We are so excited for you, for you're right at the edge. It is time to begin. And we are here to hold your hand if you want us to. We hope you make those choices, for they are completely beautiful in every way. Now, before we leave here, we wish to do a meditation with you. And it's a very simple one. So if you're not yet comfortable in where you're at, please be comfortable. Take a minute to just be present. Just take a few deep breaths. And with each breath, just breathe a little bit deeper. Allow the breath to go in a little bit deeper. Begin to feel your whole body with each breath. Feel the energy of the breath touching each cell of your body as you inhale. Now with your next inhale, bring your attention to your heart space. Breathing deeply into your heart space. And now allowing the heart space to begin to expand with each breath. Growing brighter. Larger. Becoming a part of your whole body. Now begin to envision, if you will, all of you holding hands in a gigantic circle. Just feel each heart. You don't have to necessarily see the person. Just know the heart space that's next to you, next to them, so on, and across the circle. You feel and sense others there as well. All holding hands. And now behind you, you can feel another circle of beings. You can feel a heart space behind you. And envision another circle around your circle. And another circle around that circle. And as far as you can see, there are circles of beings, of old souls, with their hearts so open and so strong and so vibrant. And as you look now into the middle of the circle that you have formed, you see a bright star. Glowing ever so beautifully. And you see each heart from each circle and each being sending love, sending energy and light to that star, helping it glow and grow. And as you inhale your own breath, as you're holding hands with everybody, the energy comes from the star into your heart space. And as you exhale the energy back to the star. As you continue to breathe, inhaling the star's energy, exhaling it back to the star, you realize that everyone is doing the same thing. You are all breathing at the same time. You are all connecting and becoming unified together with the star and with each other. And allow whatever feelings to come forward. In this present moment, there is no right, there is no wrong, there just is. We wish to thank you for your patience. We wish to compliment you for all of who you are, for all of what you have endured, for what you will become. Allow this light to stay in your heart and blossom, grow. Use it to find your truth and to become more of who you are here. So take your time coming out of this. Just kind of slowly take a couple deep breaths as you come back. Feel your body, feel where you're at. Some people are still not back yet, so we'll have to wait a second. Maybe we can join them where they're at. Sit down. So would anybody like to share anything? Don't forget to unmute yourself if you're going to speak. That includes anybody here. Unmute yourself.
I just wanted to say that was very lovely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. And I've known that's what Mother Earth does, but I just felt it deeper. With the fires being so close. Just knowing that there's good, and there's always good in that, I know, but it was just a nice reminder to want to connect deeper, to experience more of Mother Earth, to truly feel her. The meditation was lovely. To have so many souls, to have so much beauty and grace. Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Tommy,
Thanks,
for
Patty.
channeling.
Yeah, but
I've had a thought that's perhaps paradoxical about the fires and related things. because they seem to take everything we have away from us.
Mhm.
And therefore, that leaves us. We're there. And rather than be defined by all that we've done and all that we have and all that we've accumulated, etc., suddenly the quote victims of fire have the opportunity to say hello to themselves. It seems like massive loss, and it may be a gigantic gain if they're awake to it.
Well, and for some of us also to feel the gratitude of what we are and what we do have in a different way, in a deeper way as well.
I made a decision about 6 months ago to take my work, my presence, what I'm doing to an absolutely different level, and to let go of all of the fame and stuff that I have in doing what I've been doing across the world. And I knew I had to do it because the real me was there to be shown. And you talked about, and you brought through the word synchronicities, the synchronicities of just incredible stuff that has come in since I made that decision, and since I've been on a different path, have been absolutely remarkable. People, situations, circumstances. I mean, I could fill a book. I mean, it's been absolutely extraordinary. And rather than saying, I can't believe it, which is what I was saying before, I'm starting to say, oh, well, I can believe it.
Mhm.
Because it's starting to feel absolutely natural.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, here we go. This is the real ball game. And this today was just an incredible reminder and reinforcement of that. And I thank you for the gift that you are, Tom.
Thanks. What I find so beautiful is that the more, it's like the more, at least in my own journey, the more I stay in the moment, the more experiences are so different. Nothing's ever the same. Everything changes, whether it's my run in the morning, I go skiing, or I get to share my life with somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's like every moment that happens, that I allow myself to be there. It's like, like Bill, you're talking about synchronicities. I don't, it's almost like they're not even synchronicities anymore. They're just,
That's right. It's
it's a constant experience of something new.
Yep.
And if we can get out of our heads and not judge any of that, then we get to feel the full experience of whatever it can bring.
John Strong.
Uh-oh. What was that?
That was one of my synchronicities calling.
See.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell everybody to turn their phones off. Sorry. I didn't turn mine off either. I'm surprised it didn't go off. Anybody else want to share? You guys want to say anything or?
Hi, Tomei.
Um,
This is Sally.
Yeah,
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you. The channeling, I felt like some of what was said, maybe all of what was said, was like meant specifically for me today. So it was just really great to hear that message and to be with you all. I appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
thanks for joining us. And they just said it was specifically for you.
I mean, like really, some of the words I was like, this is exactly what my question was today. I mean, really? Like, wow.
Nice.
I'm blown away. So thank you.
You're welcome. Come on over.
Can you hear?
I
Hey,
won't bite.
Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn.
Hello.
Harry, come
I
on.
too wanted to
Jim.
just thank everyone for the channeling, that love of Mother Earth and the connection that was really strong. And in the meditation, the love going back and forth from the star. Because I've been focusing on sending lots of love and gratitude for the past couple months. But I have a question. Because it didn't occur to me early in the channeling. They said that we were skipping the fourth dimension, or Mother Earth was, and going to the fifth. So what did we skip and why? and I guess what's the difference between the fourth and the fifth?
Okay. So let me just take a second here. So the Earth has been going through this for a long time. So you might say it's been in the fourth for thousands of years, releasing all the emotions that they talked about. And so it's kind of finished with that. So it's just right at the end here, the feeling I had when they were talking about the heavy denseness was really, really strong. It was really strong, but it was like the final chapter, you might say, of how this is all going to play out. And that final chapter is now ending. It's like it's done. And so it's moving right into the fifth. So it's right into that higher frequency of consciousness that we get to feel every once in a while. You all have had it. You know, you've all had an opportunity to feel, you know, when things are just amazing, let's just say. It's hard to put words to, and you're just in that moment. That's the fifth. And so we all have had little teasers of what that's like. But now she's going totally into that and is hoping that we will kind of come along. That doesn't mean that we don't still have work to do. We still have work to do, obviously, to let go of some of the definitions and things of what we think we are and so on. And even, you know, in the present moment, there could be another challenge that's going to come along to help you deepen your own journey. So it can rise your energy even higher. So there's still that transitory period that's happening, which is more the fifth or more the fourth, I'm sorry. But that fourth, even for us, is now moving, height being linear here, but you know, you go from 50% to 52%, and then you go to 56, and then you go to 60, and then 62. And all of a sudden you're in this higher area of the fourth, which there's not as much transitory stuff happening. You're enjoying more of who you truly are and less of who you were. And so that keeps moving until finally, you know, when you get up to 90%, you really are in a place of just feeling that fifth more and more and more, and less of the third that was going on. So as human beings, we still have a little bit ways to go, of course, but the earth itself, the mother is gone. She's just got this one last little end of the chapter and things are gone. So does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about that? That is kind of different, I have to say, yeah. You still have to pay your mortgage, sorry.
You- Tom,
Yeah.
can you check in about the difference between a dimension, which is what you're talking about now, and the frequency of the energy?
Hmm.
Are they one and the same, or yeah,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the construct a different one?
It's sometimes hard to put words to this because, you know, depending upon who's even listening to this or will listen to it, you know, later on, sometimes we have to use the words energy, which then connotates sometimes particles, you know, and atoms and electrons and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the concept of frequency, which is like, what does that look like? Well, it's kind of, you know, getting to the wave aspects of things and so on. Well, actually, everything is a wave that's in consciousness. It's just all a wave. And each wave has a different characteristic to it, which, as some of you know, I'm trying to put words to this and it's pretty hard. And I'm trying to let them bring some words in for me. As some of you know when Yeshua was in the room, right? And yet Mother Mary can be in the room at the same time, but you can really sense the difference between the two. That shows you that there's a different wave characteristic to Mother Mary as opposed to Yeshua. So in dimensions, there's thousands of dimensions, to be honest. There isn't just like, you know, 12 or 18 or something like that. It just goes on and on into infinity. So the differences is that as you go into a new wave, turn it off. As you go into another dimension, let's say, which is a higher frequency or higher wave characteristic, within that higher wave characteristics are all the ones that came before it, is the best way I can explain it. So say the first, the second, the third, and the fourth are all commingled into like a quantum aspect in that fifth dimensional wave. Whereas in third dimensional wave, it's the density that we feel, it's the judgment, it's the plus or the minus, it's the good or bad, it's the black or white. Everything has a separation wave energy to it, that there is separation here and things have to be looked at a certain way and then looked at another way and so on. When you're in the next wavelength up, which is more the fifth, not necessarily the fourth, which is kind of the fourth wave frequency, is a place of beginning to discern, for each one of us to discern the differences of feeling joy in a third dimensional way, but feeling more joy in the heart, which is more of a fifth dimensional wave. We get to have a timeout, you might say, to be able to discern for ourselves the differences there, so we can understand where we're going, where we're coming from and where we're going. So if I remember right, they did say that the earth has to feel the density it's letting go of, so it knows it's gone. It knows that it's let that go. Just like we know that we are not going to accept a certain frequency or a wave anymore. And we felt it fully and we've let it go, you might say, and said, no, I'm not. You say no to it as it comes forward again in some other situation. Say, no, I'm not interested anymore. I'm already here. Thank you for sharing that with me in the past. It helped me find myself, that kind of thing. But you have discerned for yourself that now you're there. So there's the step in wavelength, really, It's not energy as such, because the universe isn't made up of energy. It's made up of waves of frequency that we can distinguish as we open up our hearts more and more. So you've heard me over and over and over again to say, please get to 51%. When you get to 51%, you're more in your heart, you're less in your ego, which gives you the opportunity to really feel a difference of who you are and your truth that you hold inside yourself, and how you experience a certain wavelength, and how you experience the difference between what's going on in your journey and what's going on in your path. So that 51% is a monumental shift. And we all, again, have little bits and pieces of that teaser as we go along. So I know I went on and on a little bit there, but hopefully that helps. Does that help everybody, or Bill, does that make sense?
Well, our friend Nassim Harriman, who did the black hole, I have been taking a course from him.
Mhm.
He has now recalculated and everything in the entire range of Einstein equations and all the rest of the stuff that define the nature of our universe. And
Uh-huh.
he's about to publish yet more papers about this that redefine what a black hole is and how it operates, that redefines the field, that basically shows the total continuity between a quantum, okay, which is 10th at the minus 60th factor of 10. In other words, it's so little of tenths of a centimeter. It is so little you can't even begin to imagine it, all the way up to the nature of the universe. He's created the continuity. He's created the Einstein unified field. And I'm awash in that learning, because it has enormous implications for who we are, what we're capable of, et cetera, because we're in that continuum.
Mhm.
We're right there.
Yep.
And it's a matter of how we connect to it and vibrate in it, as it were, that defines who we are. But our capacities are to connect to that total universal field,
Mhm.
i.e., the field is within us. The field isn't out there.
Right.
Okay. One of the big messages. And therefore, that everything that is infinite about the field and everything that is about astonishing and amazing about the field is absolutely true of us as well.
Mhm.
Okay? But it's a matter of attuning to it, acknowledging it, like you're saying, yes, that is us, and embracing those experiences that are continuously reminding us of that is who we are. So anyway,
what's fun about that is that when you do experience that, by maybe answering somebody's question or serving somebody else or serving yourself in whatever moment that is, it's almost like you shake your head like, did I just do that? Like, how did that happen? And of course, it's through the heart space. It's through the infinite ability that we have within us to connect to, like you say, the field or the space or whatever, because it's all one, and we just tap into it, and we just allowing ourselves, I guess, to tap into it's the biggest piece. Acceptance and allowance to know that you truly are magnificent in so many ways. Yeah. I think everybody's minds are blown. I don't know. They're just like,
oh, okay. So given that this is a good humor joy moment, okay, what he has revealed is that he was, okay, you know about him, and I'm sure but most of these people do. He was for years a leading skier on the Canadian ski team. Okay, all right.
Well, he was a deep sea. He was a deep sea diver too.
Yes, and he was what's called a solo rock climber, which
Yeah.
means you climb without a rope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's
I think
revealed.
He's got a lot of support, I think. Everywhere he goes.
But he has used that recently as a way of talking about fear.
Oh, yeah.
Because in that rock climbing situation where every second is, quote, precarious, you can't let fear enter your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. and
I'm
his
still scared of heights though, sorry.
yeah, and his English grammar is as bad as ever. Okay.
Yeah, right. It's okay. How about anybody else? Nancy, you don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
No, well, it's so funny. I did that for so many years in different groups that I'm still conditioned to do that. But anyway, just so much to think about. I took some notes, and again, my mind is blown. Before you said that, I was going to say that. My mind is blown. But it's just so fascinating. So I just really appreciate that you're doing this, and the beings that come through you and imparting this knowledge. And I constantly am just blown away these days by things that I learn. And, and anyway, I'm so glad that Patty turned me on to you years ago, and that just everything. My mind is blown, and I'm glad to be on this journey. And there's so much more to learn. And just thank you for bringing this info in.
You're
And
welcome.
hopefully I can digest it enough and take it in and practice it. So,
Well, thanks for
get
being part
there.
of the group too. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
She said a word. I don't have to give it. Digest. We're trying to digest. all this.
Rick's saying that he's just trying to digest it all right now.
She brought that up. That's the word keeps popping in my
Yeah.
brain. Digest.
Anyone else?
I just want to see Rick and Lisa's faces. Got to see Carolyn.
Make them get up. Yeah, they're laying down.
Get
falling
up.
asleep.
Careful what you ask.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Rick.
Hello.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys.
We're all
Yeah.
we're all going to be on
Carolyn too.
Facebook
Yay.
and YouTube.
And Jerry. Woohoo.
Yes, yes. And don't forget Jerry. Good to see you guys.
All right.
I haven't seen William in a long, long time.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I say I haven't seen William in a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm still bald.
Yeah. Yes, you haven't grown any more hair up there. I know.
No.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for being a part of this. It's been great. It's a good day.
Yes, indeed.
And
Good
you'll get an
day.
email. You'll get an email with the post. Brenda, you want to stop the recording?